Hello, all. So I just got back from seeing Deadpool, the new comic book superhero movie out, and here's my review on it. So Deadpool is a self-aware movie. It's a meta movie. It's a movie that is aware of the fact that it in itself is a movie. Now, meta films are not new. They've actually been done countless times over at this point. Some famous examples are Scream, Cabin in the Woods, Last Action Hero, Spaceballs, and so on and so forth. Now, typically when you have a meta movie, a movie that's self-aware, what ends up happening is it picks up on the fact that it's in a genre and starts making fun of that genre and deconstructing it because the filmmakers are aware they're making a movie they can poke fun at themselves. So in Scream, for example, it starts pointing out how silly slasher cliches are in real life, how they would not actually pan out. And in Cabin in the Woods, there's a scene where it has a woman take off her clothing, and then it looks at the camera and says, "Oh, you viewers are pervs, or getting off on this woman being naked. Stop being such pervs." So it makes fun of its own genre while it's making it. Deadpool is the only meta movie I've ever seen that doesn't do this. What Deadpool does is it has a action set scene, and it has Deadpool look at the camera and say, "Oh, by the way, this is a movie." And then he runs on to another action set scene, and he does that, and then he looks at the camera and says, "Oh, it's still a movie. It's still a movie." And then he runs to another action scene, and that's the film. That's it. That's the entire movie. I just spoiled it for you. And that's all there is to it. And it's really weird because this movie has the plot line from every 90s action film. A guy gets cancered, he goes to a person that he thinks has the cure, the person horribly tortures him, disfigures him, and then he goes out for revenge. It's a very generic, very paint by numbers revenge plot line. Like, to the 10th degree. Every cliche they can pull out from the revenge plot line, they do. And the characters are extremely generic too. There's nothing to them. They're paper thin. They have no character depth. They are just cardboard characters that are there for that generic plot line to work. And with this movie being self-aware and it being knowing that's a movie, you figure sooner or later all these cliches are going to annoy Deadpool. He's going to get ticked off about it, but it never happens. It just keeps being cliched and being generic, and it never does anything with the meta concept. I kept waiting there and waiting there for Deadpool to get really annoyed at the cliches and just look at the camera and saying, "Wow, the writer for this film really sucks. He made my face a mess. He screwed up my love life, and he wrote this horribly generic movie. I'm going to go kick his butt." And then he would hunt down the writer of the film, kick his butt, and then kick the butt of the director, and he'd kill all the film crew. I was waiting for that to happen. It never happens, even though he's aware of the film. Even though he's aware he's in a film. Like, it gets to the point where you're like, why does he even want revenge? He knows that the person that disfigured him, who's named Francis, he knows that that guy didn't have any control over his actions because they're in a movie. So why does he even want revenge in this scenario? I don't know. This movie would have been so much better if during the cliches it actually pointed out that these were cliches. Like, it has this big, huge love montage near the opening, so it can set up the woman in distress angle that has been done 100 times over. If it was doing that love montage, and then during the love montage, Ryan Reynolds looks straight at the camera and says, "Yeah, I realize this love montage is really generic and really sappy, but wait you guys, it's going to lead to some cool action scenes, and some guys are going to get decapitated, and there'll be explosions, and it'll be awesome, so just sit down and deal with this part. We need this part for the movie to work." If he said that while the love montage was going on, then the movie would have been so much smarter for it. Then it would have been making fun of itself. Then it would have been actually self-aware. It never does that. It refuses to do that. So it's basically, if you made Scream, and in it Sydney got killed because she had sex, and that's the cliche of a horror film. And the killers bumped into a new lead character that kicked their butt. It would be basically that. It would be a movie that's aware that's a cliche, but does nothing about it. It would be in Last Action Hero if the kid never pointed out to Arnold that they were in an action movie and just let the movie play out. It would have been that. And that would have been it. That's Deadpool. And as a result, it has an extremely generic plot, a plot from every 90s action film ever done, and it's so paint by numbers. It's so generic, and it's so annoying. Everybody was going on and on and on and on about how groundbreaking this film was. And it's not groundbreaking at all. It does stuff that has been done countless times before, and it does them really lazily. So it's not groundbreaking at all. It's not even the first R-rated comic book movie. It's not even the first R-rated comic book movie that is self-aware. That was Kick-Ass. And Kick-Ass kicked ass. So I know I'm being very harsh on this movie, but to be completely honest, I'm being really harsh because of the hype. A lot of people said this would be a groundbreaking. A lot of people said this would do new stuff with the genre. It does nothing new. It is lazy as all crap. That's why I'm being harsh on this, because of the hype. Everybody's saying it's groundbreaking. It's not, and that's why I'm being harsh. But it does have really good action scenes, and it does have some nice gore, and some of the jokes are really funny. It has what I call machine gun comedy, where it just shoots as many jokes as it can at the screen, and a lot of them miss, but a couple of them hit, and the ones that hit are really funny. Some of them are not funny, but some of them are really funny. A lot of the people in my theater were laughing, so I know a lot of them did hit. Not all. So some moments are really funny, but the most subversive this film gets is the opening credits, which mock everyone in it. And those opening credits make you think you're in for a really subversive film, which it never becomes. Those opening credits are awesome. I love the opening credits. They were the best part of the movie. I chuckled a lot during those. And then everything else was kind of just alright. But I will say the action scenes are good. The gore is good. When the film actually is funny, it's pretty funny. It's just, it doesn't do enough. It doesn't do anything with its concept. And it's a very generic film as a result. So if you want to see a comic book movie that's self-aware, that's meta, that pokes fun of itself and the genre, that is a hard R, just watch Kick-Ass again. This was all done before in Kick-Ass. And that movie is way better than this movie. I don't know why this is being hailed as a groundbreaking film when we already got this a lot better in Kick-Ass. The movie exists already. It's called Kick-Ass. It's Kick-Ass. So yeah, this movie just really made me want to see that movie again. I will say there's a scene after the credits which you should watch, which is pretty comical and pretty funny, and the opening credits are pretty awesome, and there are some cool action scenes. So if you want to watch it. There's a lot there. I will give it a 6 out of 10 because of that stuff, but I will once again stress that this movie's been done, you guys. It has been done. If you've seen any 90s action movie, you've seen this movie. Everyone's seen this movie. But yeah, it's still funny, and there's still some good action scenes, but yeah, I'm going to be harsh on it because it's getting way too much hype, so it deserves at least one person to be harsh on it. So 6 out of 10, watch it if you want, but realize it's not a groundbreaking movie, and it hasn't done anything that hasn't been done before. So I say, just stick with the classics. Cheers, and good night.